Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lizzie, and for today's video, we are watching Man Bites Dog. So this film is about a documentary team that follows a man that is a serial killer. So I'm very interested in this one, and I'm definitely interested to see how this one plays differently, because just recently, I watched Henry, the Portrait of a Serial Killer, which is obviously not about documentary team, but it is about a serial killer, which several of you have brought it to my attention that it is about a real person. I'm gonna have to do further research into the person that it's about. But yeah, I'm excited to see what this one's about. This one, I'm pretty sure is a little bit more fictional. But yeah, either way, I'm excited. This one I actually did have to rent on Amazon Prime. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find it anywhere else, so there will be an affiliate link in the description if you want to check this one out for yourself. And of course, that always helps the channel. And I will be right back with my thoughts. Okay, so just finished with watching, and this is definitely a very interesting film. Like I said, it is about this camera crew that is following a serial killer. It's kind of a bit of a found footage film, but it's done a lot more like a documentary, which I personally liked, because if you've been on this channel for a while, you'll know that found footage isn't exactly my jam. Tend to not be the biggest fan of found footage films. So I like the fact that this one was done more like a documentary. Obviously, like, it's fake, but it definitely feels pretty real. I mean, there are definitely some points where you can tell some of the stuff is fake, obviously, but it's still a really, really good film, and definitely creepy and puts you on an edge at times. There is unfortunately a rape scene in this film. It's not super long, but it's kind of comes out of nowhere and is pretty intense. So just forewarning. And also, the thing is, with this camera crew, they are participating in what is going on. They're not just filming him from afar and just being a documentary crew. I guess as weird as it sounds, the best way I feel to compare it is camera crews who go into the wild and film animals, and even though sad stuff sometimes happens, they're just there to do their job and film. This camera crew is not like this. They get involved in a lot of ways. I don't want to spoil too much, because I did enjoy it. I do actually think it's a pretty good film, because it is so very different and very interesting. It is French. Had to watch it with captions on, but I highly suggest it if you haven't seen it, because it is really good. I enjoyed it, as strange and weird as it is. But this Ben character, that's the name of the serial killer that you're following, he really is just what you expect out of a serial killer. He is full of himself and narcissistic and creepy, and there's parts where because he lives in kind of a, I guess, more run down kind of neighborhood. That's where he grows up, and he even makes commentary on the fact that the media and the police don't care about those citizens dying, but you're okay, but you're the one who's doing the killing. And he's just that total narcissistic personality. I mean, he even quotes Gandhi as is talking about Gandhi at one point, and you're just oh my dear lord. He's just the worst. For many reasons. And like Ben kind of, he also kind of like implies that like he does it for money, because he tends to kill older people who in his neighborhood where they live, they all kind of like keep their money in their homes, and so he also robs them, but you know that he's like, it's not about that. It's about the killing. Even though he does kind of try to play it off as like the reason he kills those particular people is because they have money. And like more money, I guess. But like at one point, and this is also like the camera crew getting involved, is at one point one of the cameramen asks if Ben kills children, and he kind of says like, no, not really, like not very often, and they are like, well, you could still like get money for them, which you're like, what the fuck? And Ben's like, well, no, like that's kidnapping and it's too much work and stuff, and it's just, all of these people are horrible. Ben's horrible, the camera crew's horrible, some of the people in Ben's life are horrible, because there are people in his life that know what he does, and you're just like, oh dear lord. So it's just, you're watching a bunch of horrible people, but it is, again, a really good film. I know I keep saying that. The only thing was, it did feel like it ran a little long for me, and I am going to kind of spoil the ending a little bit, so just fair warning, but at one point Ben does get caught, because he attacks a man who escapes, and after that man like escapes from Ben attacking him, it kind of goes to like this news reporter who is just talking about like the fact that he's been like prosecuted and charged and all of this, and you then see Ben in jail, and he has like family that comes to visit him, and I felt like that would have been a really good place to end it, but unfortunately they don't. They do keep carrying on, and Ben escapes from prison, and you're just kind of like, what the fuck? Like, and then like he is trying to go like check on his family members and important people in his life, and they've all been like killed because of like what he, his actions, kind of like revenge, I guess. It just like goes on a little too long. The ending's okay. I just would have, and I feel like they did the ending to try to like wrap up loose ends. That's what an ending does, but I felt like it would have been okay for everything to end in like the prison scene with Ben being arrested, even if we don't know what happens to the crew members. So like if they don't get implicated in any of Ben's actions, like it's whatever, like it's still, I feel like, would have been a fine ending. But that's just my personal feelings about it. If you have seen this film, though, let me know what your thoughts are on it in the comments below. If you did enjoy this, please do give it a big old thumbs up, and make sure you hit the subscribe button for more related content, and I will see you guys again tomorrow with another video. Bye!